History doesn't just repeat, it warns. And what we're seeing in modern feminism isn't new. It's the same spirit that showed up in Persia with Queen Vashti. And in today's video, we're gonna learn about Queen Vashti and Queen Esther, and why one represents the corrupt spirit of feminism, while the other, the true picture of a virtuous woman.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to you.
Hello world, the Faceless Prophet here, and if you enjoy great content that helps you unpack the Bible in a way that connects the dots to our modern times, please make sure to like, follow, and share for more. The Bible starts Esther with these words. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 and 20 provinces. Esther 1:1. This wasn't some average Joe. King Ahasuerus was the alpha male, the high-value man everyone talks about today. And just like many alpha men today, he had himself a boss bitch wife, Queen Vashti. At a feast, the king commanded Vashti to appear before him and display her beauty, but she refused. She humiliated him in front of his princes and advisors. Sound familiar? Happy wife, happy life. TV shows with the dumb dads and the strong wives. Divorce rates at 80% initiated by the women, and 70% of violent criminals today coming from single mother homes? The king's advisors understood something we've forgotten. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they despise their husbands in their eyes. Esther 1:17. Monkey she, monkey do.
Why do I bother to bring artists and dancers from faraway lands if my guests refuse to show interest in them?
My queen, we are not used to plays that ridicule our king's gods. We are confused.
I am not one of those foolish courtiers that prostrate themselves in order to obtain favors. I am the queen, and I do as I please in my chambers.
Harbona, the king's eunuch, asks to be received.
Don't just stand there, Bona. Speak.
The king requires my lady's presence.
For what purpose?
He makes display of his most treasured objects.
Am I such an object?
The most beautiful of all, my queen.
It does not befit a lady, much less a queen, to be displayed before a man quite drunk after too many days of feasting.
King wills it. You are to wear the royal crown.
Say to the king that I refuse.
If the queen acts rebellious, women everywhere will follow her example. But then comes Esther. She wasn't voiceless, weak, or powerless. She was wise, strategic, and God-fearing. Unlike the other women who demanded lavish gifts and jewels before meeting the king, Esther required nothing except what Haggai the eunuch advised. She required nothing but what Haggai appointed, and Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that look upon her. Esther 2:15.
Esther, what will you wear when you go into the king?
You have seen to my every need, Haggai. You decide.
But it is customary to request something to take in with you.
Well, in that case, I rely on your wisdom. I shall bring whatever you think I require.
She wasn't a prima donna. She wasn't a boss bitch. She was wise, humble, and trusted God's order. This isn't just about marriage. It's about the spiritual order God set in place. From Genesis 3:16, the woman's desire would be to usurp her husband, but he would rule over her. This curse is still alive in the feminist movement today, and just as Cain was told sin desired to have him, modern women embrace the same spirit of rebellion. Vashti embodied it, whereas Esther overcame it. Now here's the part that takes us a little deeper. Haman, the villain of Esther, was an Amalekite. Now pause. Back in 1 Samuel 15, God commanded King Saul to utterly destroy the Amalekites. But why? Because they were enemies who ambushed Israel from behind, attacking the weak and helpless. God's command wasn't random. It was justice. And the fact that Haman, an Amalekite, still existed in Esther's day shows us that the utterly destroyed language in 1 Samuel 15 was not absolute, but hyperbolic. Saul disobeyed. He spared what God told him to destroy, and centuries later, out of that same bloodline comes Haman. So ask yourself, if Saul obeyed, would Haman have been in Persia's court plotting genocide? Now look at the difference. God's judgment in 1 Samuel 15 was holy justice through his people in war. Haman's plan in Esther was human pride, rooted in vengeance, to wipe out an entire race because one man, Mordecai, wouldn't bow down to him. That's not justice, that's genocide. And here's the sharpest contrast of all. Vashti defied the king out of pride. Esther defied the law out of courage. When she stepped into the king's court, unsummoned, her life was on the line. But she said, "If I perish, I perish." Her rebellion wasn't against God's order. It was against evil. And through her faith, Haman was hung on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. That's divine justice, not man's pride. But to close, the same cycle repeats today. Fatherless homes, broken families, violent children. Men and women were created in God's image, but not to compete, to complete. Vashti represents the feminist rebellion, pride, usurpation, and destruction, whereas Esther represents the virtuous woman, wisdom, humility, and salvation. One leads to broken homes, the other leads to redeemed nations. The world celebrates the Vashti spirit, but the word celebrates the Proverbs 31 woman. Strength and honor are her clothing. She openeth her mouth with wisdom. A woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. This isn't just ancient history, it's prophecy repeating itself right now. Don't fall for the programming of Vashti and Haman. Look to the example of Esther and ultimately to Christ, the only one who can deliver us from pride and destruction. So if this opened your eyes to lessons we can learn from the book of Esther, please support the channel with the like, share, and follow. But until next time, the Faceless Prophet out.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth even if you told it to you.